Okay, so good evening, everyone. So for today, we're going to have a discussions of a research basic or of module number one. So researchers in the field of information studies investigate information system and services to understand how people use them and to discover better designs for those systems and services. So the research question addressed are wide-ranging and they evolve as information system and service change. So to meet the challenge of this many research questions, investigators have borrowed and adapted techniques from many other fields of science. In these methods, each with its own advantages and disadvantages, offer a range of insights into information system and services and the people who use them and the intellectual and cultural content that they preserve. So research and information studies can be divided into three categories. Number one, research into information interaction using methods drawn from the social sciences. Number two, research into cultural history using methods from the humanities. And number three, information technology research and development using methods from science and engineering. So information systems are developed for people who interact with them to search for, evaluate, and employ information. The interaction of users with information systems and the factor that influence those interactions are important focuses of information studies research. The researchers ask a variety of questions about information interaction, and they base this question in a variety of perspectives drawn from the social sciences. Okay. Research is an open misuse term. No? Its usage in everyday language very different from the strict scientific meaning. In the field of science, no, it is important to move away from the looser meaning and use it only in its proper context. So scientific research adheres to a set of strict protocols and long-established structure. Often, we will talk about conducting internet research or say that we are researching in the library. In everyday language, it is perfectly correct grammatically, but in science, it gives mislead impressions. So the correct and most common term used in science is that we are conducting a literature review. So science has developed these guidelines over many years as the benchmark for measuring the validity of result obtained. So failure to follow the guidelines will prevent your findings from being accepted and taken seriously. And this protocol can vary slightly between scientific disciplines, but all follow the same basic structure. The general aims of research, of course, is to observe and describe, to predict, to determination of the causes, and explain. So, the steps of the scientific process has a structure similar to an hourglass, no? So, as I posted earlier, the structure start with general questions, narrowing down to focus on a specific aspect, then designing research where we can observe and analyze this aspect. At last, the hourglass widens and the researcher concludes and generalize the finding to the real world. Okay? So, to give us more details about the topic, let us all welcome our presenter.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. We are Group 1 and here to discuss the Chapter 1, which is the basic of research. Next slide, please. Hello, next slide. So, research basics 1. Next slide. Intended learning for this evening is what you can do with research, characteristic of research, and types of research and research design. So, let's begin with the introduction. Next slide, please. So we all know that research had the greatest contribution to human advancement. We start from being curious about a problem, we find methods and create understanding of the cause of problem. Next slide, please. In research, we use systematic investigation that humans study and establish facts that we can agree with. But in certain times, that fact can be changed due to its nature and generate new concept. Next slide, please. So research can improve the past, and that is why it can be changed. Also, in research, we solve problems, develop ideas, enhance your understanding, and give effective results. Then, next slide. We use research to navigate methods that have not been discovered yet. The chapter of the paper presents the characteristic of research, types of research design, and what's the purpose of this research. So let's move on to the first lesson. Next slide. So what can you do with research? You can do what you can do with research is so what you can do with research. You can do what you can do with research is generate ideas. Research is the primary means of expanding our understanding of the world. It generates new knowledge and insights into various phenomena, whether in science, social science, humanities, or other domains. Next slide. Next slide. So with research, you can also solve problem. Next, please. Research helps identify problems, analyze their root cause, and develop solution. This is crucial in fields like engineering, healthcare, and public policy. Next, please. And the last one is improve and develop ideas. Research help us in understanding how we can improve the hindrance of the past findings and develop more advanced solutions that are more efficient than the past. So, so that's what you can do with research. There are other more that you can do with research, but let's move on to the next slide.
Hello. Hello. Mic
And
test. Hello.
okay
Okay
na,
na?
okay na.
Ayun.
Yes.
So, moving on to characteristics of research. So, by extending knowledge through scientific theories, concepts, and ideas, research aims to benefit society. A research goal is to accomplish by the development of hypotheses, data collection, analysis, and etc. So, characteristic of research, we have empirical, logical, cyclical, critical, analytical, methodological, and replicability. So in empirical, research is based on direct experience or observations by the researcher. And in logical, research is based on valid procedure and principles. The cyclical is research starts with a problem and ends with a problem too. A critical research is exhibit carefully and precise judgment. The analytical research utilizes proven analytical procedures in gathering data, whether historical, descriptive, experimental, and case study. Then in methodological, the research is conducted in a methodological manner without bias using systematic method and procedures. And the last one is replicability. In replicability, research design and procedure are repeated to enable the researcher to arrive at valid and conclusive results. So here are the types of research. The applied research, it is a scientific study that seeks to solve various practical problems in day-to-day life. It finds answers or solutions to everyday problems like cure illness, develop innovative technologies, and many more. Well, in basic research, it is called the fundamental or pure research. It expands the person's knowledge. This type of research is not going to create or invent anything new. Instead, it is based on basic science investigation. A correlational research. This research relationship among two or more variables without necessarily determining the cause and effect is known as correlational research, which means they are both correlated. So for a descriptive research from the word describe, this type of research provides a accurate portrayal of characteristic of a particular individual, discussion or group, also known as the statistical research. It deals with everything that can be counted and studied which have an impact on the lives of people. So ethnographic research. This type of research involves a investigation of a culture through an in-depth study of members of culture. So it involves systematic collection, description, analysis of data for development or theories of a cultural behavior. The experimental research, which is to experiment. This study involves objective, systematic, controlled investigation for purpose of predicting and controlling the phenomena. It also includes the examining the probability and the causality among the variables. Then the exploratory research. This type of research will be conducted for a problem that has not been clearly defined. So it helps to determine the best research design, data collection method, and selection subject. It is quite informal, relying on the secondary research. So a ground theory research. This research study about the problem existing in a given social environment and how people involved handles them. It operates almost in a reverse fashion of traditional research and involves four stages. It involves codes, concept, categories, and theory. The next one is historical research. From the word history, it involves analysis of events that occurred in the past. So phenomenological research, it aims to describe an experience that has been actually lived by a person. And this is the important, guys. Quantitative research. So in quantitative research, this involves numbers and quantifying the results mathematically in numbers. While a qualitative research aims to in difficult or impossible to quantify mathematically, such as beliefs, meaning, attributes, and symbols. So it aims to gather an in-depth understanding of human behavior. Late.
Wait lang. Now, let's talk about the research design. Next slide, please. So in research design, an essential part of research process is the research design, which specify the strategy and framework for carrying out a study. It includes a number of components such as research question or hypothesis, data gathering strategies, data analysis methodologies, and overarching plan. Based on the studies aims and general nature, many research design are used. So next slide. Uh, Cross-sectional research design involves gathering information from a sample of individuals at one particular moment. It gives a momentary picture of research variables. For researching prevalence and association, it is helpful. So next slide. The next research design is logo ata. The next one is action research design. Practitioner performs action research design within their own organization or communities to address a specific issue or enhance procedures. Cycles of planning, taking action, observing the results, and reflecting are frequent. So the next research design is the case study research design. The case study research design is a case studies concentrate on a throughout investigation of one case or a limited number of cases. They offer detailed context and perceptions into intricate phenomena in disciplines including psychology, business, and medicine. Case studies are frequently used. Next slide, please. Next slide. Bagal lang net. Mixed method research design. In a single study, mixed methods research integrates quantitative and qualitative research methodologies. It provides a more true, thorough knowledge of difficult research problems. So the next research design is next, please. Next slide. Lumagpas ka ng isang slide. So ayaw nang ibalik. Expose factor research design. Ayan pala. Longitudinal research design. In order to track changes or developments over time, longitudinal research monitors a group of individuals over a prolonged period of time. It can be used to evaluate development, trends, and causal connection. So the next one is the ex post facto research design. So the ex post facto research design is a study looks at the effects of uncontrollable independent variables. The study of pre-existing situation is frequently employed in the social and educational science. So the last research design is next slide. The survey research design. The survey research design uses standardized questionnaires or interviews to gather data from sample of individuals. In social science, it is frequently used to compile information about attitudes, beliefs, and actions. So in survey research design, we collect we- this is used for quantitative research. We gather data for our research. So moving on to our discussion, reporting. So itanong lang po, paano kami magpapasagot ng assessment po?
Done na kayo?
Sir, nasa po kami, module assessment po. Paano po namin papasagutan yung yung multiple choice na pinapagawa niyo po?
Send nyo na lang sa group
Tapos po,
para sa inyo.
sige po, sige po. Bali pa screenshot na lang po ng sa iba po.
Tesa na
Ng
lang
mga
natin.
sige, sige. Bali
Tapos na yung
tapos na
chapter
po.
1.
Yes po, sir.
Okay, so okay, a while ago I have mentioned about the hourglass, no? So in setting a goal, research in all disciplines in subjects, not just science, must begin with a clearly defined goal. No, this usually but not always takes the form of a hypothesis. No, let's say for example, an anthropological study may not have a specific hypothesis or principle, but does have a specific goal in studying the culture of a certain people and trying to understand and interpret their behavior. The whole study is designed around this clearly defined goal, and it should address a unique issue. Building upon the previous research and scientifically accepted fundamentals, whilst nothing in science can be regarded as truth, basic assumptions are made at all stages of the research, building upon widely acceptable knowledge. No? Another is interpretation of the results. No? Research does require some interpretation and exploration of results. In scientific research, there is always some kind of connection between data based on the information gathered, no, and why the scientists think that the data looks as it does. Often the researcher looks at the data gathered and then comes to a conclusion of why the data looks like it does. So a history paper, let's say for example, which just reorganized fact and makes no commentary on the results. It is not research but a review. If you think of it this way, somebody writing a school textbook is not performing research and is offering no new insights. They are merely documenting pre-existing data into a new format. If the same writer interjects their personal opinions and tries to prove or disprove a hypothesis, then they are moving into the area of genuine research. Science tends to use experimentation to study and interpret a specific hypothesis or question, allowing a gradual accumulation of knowledge that slowly becomes a basic assumption. We have, of course, replication and gradual accumulation. For any study, there must be a clear procedure so that the experiment can be replicated and the result verified. Again, there is a bit of gray area for observation-based research as is found in anthropology, behavioral biology, and social science, but they still fit most of the other criteria because planning and designing the experimental method is an important part of the project and should revolve around answering specific predictions and questions. This will allow an exact duplication and verifications by independent researchers, ensuring that the results are accepted as real. And most scientific research looks at an area and breaks it down into easily tested pieces. So the gradual experimentation upon these individual pieces will allow the larger questions to be approached and answered. So breaking down a large and seemingly insurmountable problem into manageable hunks or manageable chunks. Now, true research never gives a definitive answer, but encourage more research in another direction. Even if a hypothesis is disproved, uh, that will give an answer and generate new ideas as it is refined and developed. Research, because, and again, as our presenter mentioned, research is cyclical, no? With the result generated leading to new areas or a refinement of the original process. So, the term research is much stricter in science than in everyday life because it revolves around using the scientific method to generate hypotheses and provide analyzable results. So all scientific research has a goal and ultimate aim, repeated and refined experimentation gradually reaching an answer. And these results are a way of gradually uncovering truths and finding out about the processes that drive the universe around us. Only by having a rigid structure to experimentation can results be verified as acceptable contributions to science. Some other areas, such as history and economics, also perform through research, but tend to have their own structures in place for generating solid results. They also actually contribute to human knowledge, but with different processes and systems. Now, experiment give researchers the ability to investigate information interactions in much detail. Let's say, for example, experimenters have randomly assigned individuals to several different information systems and then ask them to complete an information search. When researchers compare the result of the searches statistically, it was possible to assess the effect of different information system design on such search success. Other experimenters have used more complex experiments to assess how different users interact with information system. And such experiments have the effect of cognitive skills or abilities, cognitive styles, learning styles, and problem-solving styles on user interactions with information system. And the result of such experiment allows system designers to tailor information system to suit the cognitive abilities of learning preferences of different users. And one final method of investigating information interactions deserves mention. Researchers have analyzed patterns of information used to provide detailed analysis of the structure of intellectual communities. Let's say, for example, an investigator have examined how scientists refer to previous research when they report their findings. They have found that there are groups of scientists who focus on the same topic, read each other's works, and communicate with each other. And this type of research, called citation analysis, has been used to chart the development of specialized areas of research and publication and to visualize the structure of scientific communities. Information system and services are part of a group's intellectual and cultural history. Consequently, approaches to scholarship that have been developed in the humanities can also be applied in information studies research. So, from the historical perspective, research questions focus on the history of ideas, technologies, and institutions. So as researchers, our researchers study the development of evolution of scientific schools of thought, the history of the development of new types of communication media, and the influence that these new media have a communication patterns. The history of library and similarly information agencies and institutions is also a component of this type of research and studies. Again, historical methods employ a wide-ranging research for evidence about the past. So scholars find primary evidence in the contemporary accounts of people who participated in the past event, and these accounts are typically preserved in letters and similar archival materials. Other documents may preserve the social and political context in which particular history events or trends occurred.
by combining primary evidence with secondary evidence, no, historians develop interpretation of historical events and trends. Okay? Now, scholars use other types of primary evidence in studies of the history of ideas. Meron naman ganon. Now, how about the technology research and development? Information systems occur in the natural world, diba? And they can be investigated just like any other natural phenomena. Aspects of information system can be counted, measured, and documented. The research questions are similar to those that are encountered in the natural sciences because investigator might focus on patterns of authorship or on the use of obsolescence of materials. And they would then describe the pattern mathematically, no, and try to account for the influences that cause information patterns to vary. So that type of research is infometrics, no, and it includes more specific areas of study such as bibliometrics and scientometrics. Now, infometrics involves measuring information phenomena and noting their disruption or distribution then pwede, no? Now, research, no, in IT, no, address a large number of research questions because information technology and services are constantly evolving and there are always new questions about the best ways in which to meet the information needs of users. No? Right now, we are using or utilizing cloud computing, Industry 5.0, what else? Even robotics or AI, no? As a result, new avenues of research in information system appears on a constant basis. So researchers in IT or in IT in education have used techniques from a wide range of other scientific disciplines like social science perspective and methods predominate, but the humanities, natural sciences, and engineering have contributed to the variety of information studies research. Because the use of multiple perspective in the varied research method, information technology research is interdisciplinary and eclectic in nature. However, the many perspectives and methods that researchers bring to information system and services have the potential to provide a rich understanding of information interaction, intellectual and cultural history, and information system design and development. So I think that's it for chapter 1. Okay? So may I request everyone to please